We have a special treat today. They call this a double feature. And Bez Hashem, here in Or Shlomo, we don't just have amazing, wonderful, tell me that. We also don't just have amazing, wonderful Rebbeim, but we have a support staff that is even beyond amazing, Bez Hashem. And they have a lot to offer and a lot to educate us. And Baruch Hashem, Eli Braun is a Chacham with a Rebbe, and he has important things to share, and it's our schus to hear Eli Braun. Please, come on up.
So, Rabbi Zakheim said I had 5 minutes, but I tend to be a person who likes to ask for forgiveness than ask for permission. So we'll see if we keep to that as 5 minutes. But we're going into Yom Kippur. It happens to be this year. It's Shabbos, so we don't say Avinu Malkeinu. Yes. But Avinu Malkeinu, Hashem, our Father, our King. The question is, which one is he? Is he our Father or is he our King? There's once a small story about a boy who was his father was his Rebbe, and in order to not show him too much, special attention, he was very hard on him, very strict. One day at home, the kid comes over to his father and he goes, Abba, I don't understand. Are you my father or are you my Rebbe? So his father says, well, we're at home right now, so I'm your father. So he goes, Abba, could you please tell my Rebbe not to be so hard on me? Which one is he? Avinu or Malkeinu? The difference between the two is a father. A father would always like to help you, but sometimes doesn't have the resources to do whatever you request of him. But a king is the opposite. He definitely could do whatever you want. He may not be inspired or want to help you out. Avinu Malkeinu. There's a story, true story. A guy was living in an apartment building, one of these beautiful complexes in Manhattan, and he was taking the elevator and he noticed a very prestigious looking guy with a long, nice robe. And he asked him, what's your name? Who are you? What's going on? There's a lot of police outside, I noticed, and security. Is there something special going on? So this guy goes, actually, you don't know who I am, but I live on the top floor in the penthouse. And I'm actually a prince. My father is the king of Morocco. And he's actually here to visit. And this man was very interested. He's like, oh wow, that's very cool, that's very exciting. And this prince noticed, this man's awe. And he goes, would you like to meet my father? Would you like to meet the king of Morocco? And this guy's like, yeah, for sure, please, that would be really cool, exciting. So he goes, don't worry, come to the apartment, top floor, 8 p.m., be there, and you'll meet the king of Morocco. So, his father goes home, and he tells his son, who was just recently bar mitzvah, that we're going to go visit the king of Morocco at 8 p.m. Very excited, they go, they take the elevator, security lets them right in, and lo and behold, they're sitting in front of King of Morocco. And they start talking and getting to know each other, and they start talking about the bar mitzvah, right? And the kid starts telling him about all the new responsibilities that he has to do, and about this new trip that he's going on to Eretz Yisrael to meet the holy rabbis and pray at the holy sites. And this king of Morocco was very inspired about how a 13-year-old could be so mature and ready to take on this responsibility. They talk for a few more minutes, and the father and the son, they leave the room. The next day, the father's checking his mail and is going through all the different letters, and he sees this one from the king of Morocco. He opens up, and there's a check, and it says, Happy Bar Mitzvah, and a check that's written out to $50,000 from the king of Morocco. Father was a little bit perplexed, didn't know what to do. Like, an average bar mitzvah gift is like, $180, if you're lucky, maybe a little bit more. $50,000, that's pretty, it's pretty high amount. So he goes over to the prince, he sees the next, he goes, I can't accept this, it's way beyond an appropriate amount of money for a 13-year-old. So the prince goes, well, it's not about your son. The man is confused. What do you mean? $50,000 is not good enough for my son. He goes, it may be in the Jewish world it's inappropriate for a 13-year-old to get a $50,000 check. But my father, the king of Morocco, it's pastnisht, or it's not appropriate for the king to give a gift under $50,000. When they went on the trip to Eretz Yisrael, they went to Rabbi Eli Steinman, and he told them the story, and Rabbi Eli Steinman was in awe. He's like, I finally understand the Avinu Malkeinu of Asay Lemancha Im Lo Lemanenu. We say in Avinu Malkeinu, Hashem, our Father, our King, if not for us, our sake, do it for your sake. What does that mean? You're davening Takash Baruch Hu, you're asking for many different things. You're asking for slicha and forgiveness and parnasa, friendship, anything under the sun. What does that mean if you won't do it for us, do it for yourself? Rabbi Leib explained, that's exactly that story. You may sit there, be davening for your different things, and you may feel like, I don't deserve this, right? I don't deserve forgiveness. I don't deserve all my wants and desires and my needs that I'm asking from HaKadosh Baruch Hu. So, you may think, Lo Lamani, it's not for me. I don't deserve this. HaKadosh Baruch Hu is not going to give me all that. And that could kind of, give a damper on your mood, like not very inspiring feeling when you're davening there in Yom Kippur, that I don't deserve this. But from this story, you see something spectacular. Not only is HaKadosh Baruch Hu your father and cares for you and loves you very much, but he's also a king. So even if you feel you don't deserve it, it's pastnisht for HaKadosh Baruch Hu, the person who created the world, who could take the mountains, throw it, and crush every last person in this world in just one word, just one little skadoosh, and everything's gone. Right? HaKadosh Baruch Hu, it's pastnisht. It's not appropriate for him not to give you for his own sake. Because he's a king, he loves you, and he wants to give. Now, there's one more thing I would like to bring out, that even though it may not be something that I feel that I deserve, I may not feel connected to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, and I kind of feel like a brick, feel like nothing. I'm davening there in Shemana Esrei, I'm just thinking about, the postseason. I feel nothing, right? And how can I inspire myself just to feel a little bit? So there's a story, one more story, right? About a man, a very rich guy, who decides that he's going to find a shidduch for his daughter, and he finds this perfect bacher. And he goes over to this bacher's father and says, I'm XY, I'm so-and-so, and of course you knew who he was, big gvir in the town, rich person. I want my daughter to marry your son, but there's one condition. I'm going to take care of everything. All the floppy, if you know what that is, right? The flowers and the pictures and the orchestra and the hall and the food. I'm going to take care of everything for the wedding. The one thing you have to do, sir, for your son to marry my daughter is buy him a nice suit. Something respectable to walk down the aisle in. This man wants his son to be able to marry this daughter and get into his family. It's a great opportunity. But doesn't have the money. So he starts going collecting, kopek by kopek, right? Ruble by ruble, dollar by dollar. And after a couple of weeks leading up to the wedding, he realizes, he starts counting it, he's not going to make it. He's not going to collect the funds so he could buy his son this suit. There's only one option he sees left to do. He knows there's this certain rich guy in the community who's supposed to be very righteous, a very giving person. He decides, I'm knocking on his door. It's my last chance. And he walks up to this guy's house, he knocks on his door. The door opens, the gvir steps outside. How can I help you? He goes, my son, we're not a very rich family, has this great opportunity to marry a girl from a very wealthy family. The father of this daughter told me I have to buy a suit for my son. I tried my hardest, I tried collecting, but I could not allocate the funds. So I'm coming to you, Mr. Gvir, Mr. Rich Man, not as your future Mukhatan, not as the father of your future son-in-law, but as just a person, just a fellow Jew asking for help. Could you please help me pay for this suit? So his future Mukhatan, this daughter's father, says, well, when you put it that way, how could I turn you down? And he paid for his suit also. When you go into Yom Kippur, and you're sitting there and you're davening, or you're trying to daven, and you feel empty inside, you feel nothing. I did this Rosh Hashanah, my Ma'ariv on Rosh Hashanah, the first day. I just stood there. I didn't ask for anything. I didn't daven for any parnasa or health or whatnot. I sat there and I pretended to be that guy. I stood there and I told Hashem, I have this amazing opportunity. I have the opportunity to stand in front of someone over the next 2 days who can give me anything I want. There's one problem. I don't feel it. I want my heart to be open. Could you please help me with that? Before you ask him for anything else, could you also help me open my heart? Just a little bit. Make me feel something. And if you do that and you stand there on Erev Yom Kippur, Ma'ariv or Shachris, before Ne'ilah, whatever it is, and you talk those words and you say those words, and the most beautiful tefillah, perhaps that you could, ask for and daven to Hashem, is please, just let me feel something. If you feel empty inside, you could ask him, just close your eyes, imagine you're telling him a little bit of secret, and you just tell him, Hashem, I feel nothing. I don't want to feel that way. I'm standing here, I know I should feel something, I'm in pain. I want you to take my hand and take me where I'm supposed to be. Simple as that. You may be surprised about what your davening will be after that. Shkoyach.